What's up, DC fans and movie buffs? I'm Alex Figueroa, and welcome to Geeks and Flix. We're up to the next film in my DC live action retro rewind. The year is 1982. The film is Swamp Thing. That's right. Now, this is the first time me watching this film, and I was stunned to find out this film was directed and written by Wes Craven. We all know his work with a little movie called Scream and Nightmare on Elm Street. Now, before we get started with this review, all right, because I know me and plus other people out there, I didn't know that this was a DC property, all right? For those of you out there that don't know who he is in the DC universe, and you trying to ask, yo, what powers does he have? Is this film accurate to the comics? Well, I'm gonna bring out a book that's gonna help us out together. We're gonna research these characters together to see if these are accurate to the comics, all right? And this is a little book in my collection called the DC Comic Encyclopedia. That's right. We're going to do this together, all right? We're going to look up Swamp Thing, and we're going to look up, is the villain actual Arcane, okay? Is it actually him, all right? Did he get his powers the way he got it in the movie by accidentally spilling it on himself? The bad guys did not do it to him. He did it to himself, and I'm going to show you guys a clip of him doing it to himself in a few seconds. But with that said, let's take a look inside this book, and let's see what Swamp Thing is actually all about. So with that said, let's investigate together, right? Why not? We're doing this stuff. I'm watching this for the first time. Let's see if this character is up to par. So let's take a look, all right? So Swamp Thing, all right? He debuted on the House of Secrets number 92 from June to July of 1971. All right, current version of Swamp Thing Volume 5, number 1, November 2011. So again, this is an encyclopedia. So again, we're just looking to see the film and anything here from the film do we get here. So we do get enemies is Anton Arcane. So that's actually correct in that front, okay? So that's pretty good. His powers and ability, the avatar of the green, the cosmic energy that animates are all plant life. All right, can appear whenever there is life, can manipulate plant matter, travel in time, shape size and shape, okay, possesses strength, okay, and then regenerative power. So he could regenerate. Awesome. All right. So we answered some of the questions here, right? We do get that Arcane is his main foe. So we got that from this book. Now, in terms of his, so I'm trying to look for the origin of how he got his powers in the comics, and it doesn't say much, but here's his classic stories. And this is from the original, like, origin. So it says Swamp Thing's origin. Scientist Alec Holland, which he is in the movie, is transformed into the elemental creature after being immersed into a chemically polluted swamp. Now, in this film, he is not immersed into a chemical. He's not. Pretty much he douses himself with the chemical, runs into the swamp, and then the rest is history. He becomes Swamp Thing. So they took some elements, and you know what? I gotta say, it's pretty close to the comic. I'm gonna be honest with you, it's pretty close to the comic. And I will say one thing before we start going on with my review on this is his hometown is Louisiana, Houma. So it's in the swamp. All right, so you know what? Our investigation is closed. We know now Swamp Thing is kind of close to the comic book, so that's actually pretty cool. So I'm gonna put away this encyclopedia, and the next time I'm gonna bring this out is on the next film. Let's get to the cast of the film. Ray Weiss is Dr. Alec Holland in the movie. Luis Jordan as Arcane, of course, and then you got Adrienne Barbeau as Alice Cable. Now that is the cast of this film. I'm just gonna put the plot and summary together. Dr. Alec Holland created this serum to save the world. I'm just gonna say it just like that. And pretty much he went away into this swamp area to do his research, to do the formula. Alice Cable, which is played by Adrienne Barbeau, is sent there to help out. All right? Arcane wants the serum for himself, and that's pretty much the whole movie in a nutshell. And now while doing so, Arcane infiltrated now this part is freaking funny. It's mad Mission Impossible. Okay, I don't even know. He plays the groundskeeper of the facility, right? And it's funny because when he's about to go, how did these guys get into this place? He literally ripped his face off, and it was him wearing a mask. And honestly, I thought that was funny. I thought it was because he had no modulation, like voice modulation, like in Mission Impossible. So like he pretty much did a different voice and like as a disguise, and then he became the Spanish bad guy. So look, for me, the movie was good. I liked it for the tone of this movie, which I'm going to talk about it on the pros and cons. But I did overall enjoy the movie for what it was. I don't think it was garbage at all. I don't think it was garbage. And you know, it's shocking to me that it was Wes Craven that wrote and directed this movie, because honestly, to me, it doesn't even feel like a Wes Craven movie, whereas you could see his signature styles on Nightmare on Elm Street and of course Scream, his two big franchises. And I know he has other ones too, but those are the two top that comes on the top of my head are those two films. But in terms of this, I would not have thought at all that Wes Craven did this movie and wrote it. So I'll say kudos to him on that. But to be honest with you, the movie is good. I mean, I don't know what more to elaborate, but I'm going to get to the pros and cons on this. The pros is Ray Wise as Dr. Alec Holland. He was really good. And I liked it because he was, oh man, I wanted to see more of him doing the science stuff. When he was kicking it to Adrienne Barbeau, Alice Cable, her character, I thought it was working. I thought it was good. They have good chemistry for the small amount of time they had on screen. I mean, this movie, he's human for 20 minutes, 25 minutes tops maybe before he becomes Swamp Thing. So I kind of wish there was more with him. And that's just me nitpicking. Adrienne Barbeau as Alice Cable. I liked her character. She was very strong in the beginning when she fought back and all. But she's a damsel in distress or whatever you want to call it. She was hot at the time. She was cute. I mean, Escape from New York. You know her from The Fog. You know her from, I think, Creepshow 1. She was in. But again, she's a great actress and she did very well in this movie. And I liked the character. It was very strong and demanding on screen. The tone of this movie, I loved. Oh, I love this tone of this movie. I felt like it was very horror throwback. Like very Universal Monster type of throwback. And I know it's gonna be weird for people, gonna be like, really? Yes, I felt that in this movie. It felt very Universal Monster, very House of Wax with Vincent Price, the original one. I thought this had that type of element. Like he has the serum, the bad guy wants it. The bad guy takes it, he becomes this superhero, right? This is what the movie felt like. And throughout the movie, yes, there is some slow parts, but throughout the movie, you felt like that. It felt very on its own. I don't feel like this took from any other movie. I felt like this was his own style. And I kind of liked it, to be honest with you. I really enjoyed it for what it was. And that's why I kind of liked the tone of the movie, because it felt very Universal Monster. I loved it a lot. Now the cons. Luis Jordan as Arcane is I can't say one of the worst castings. I can't say that. But it was a bad casting choice. Very the Spanish is very thick. If you don't know him, he was in Octopussy with Roger Moore. I forgot the year that came out, but he was in Octopussy. And he felt okay there. In this movie, he was good in the beginning, but once he does his thick accent, to me, the character just loses itself, because I really don't know his main purpose with the serum. Again, like I was saying before in the brief overview, what is what is the point of it? Are you stealing this for yourself? Give me something. We didn't get that at all in this movie. I just felt like that character was kind of cartoony. I mean, the ending is cartoony as, oh my God, Arcane becomes a cartoon at the end of the movie, which I did not understand, but we'll talk about that in a few seconds. Swamp Thing's suit, it's not, okay, so his suit was an actual suit. Where you have the Black Lagoon, he has a cool suit, right, though, the creature from the Black Lagoon. I felt like that's what they were trying to do with the Swamp Thing, which I thought it worked as a film itself. But in terms of the suit, I think they could have did a little bit more with makeup and make the suit fit the guy a little bit more. Because there's a lot of creases you could see when he's running and doing stuff. So it was it was okay. The ending of this film, to me, is where I started laughing. And it went from a serious horror film all the way up to a comical ending. The ending of Arcane turning into a monster is one of the most funniest turnarounds I've seen in a movie in a while. And when I tell you this dude looked horrible, he looked horrible. So the whole thing is, Swamp Thing was like, look, I really don't know what the serum does if you take it, right? He knows is that whatever attribute you have amplifies whatever that person is. So let's say if I drink it, I become more of a clown or whatever. I become more different, but it'll be me. My special attributes of myself will enhance. Well, he thinks he's going to become a genius. So he drinks it. And all of a sudden, this dude became Booster from Jingle All the Way. I mean, oh my God, I laughed so hard. He looked like Booster from Jingle. Oh my God, I laughed so hard. He had a sword. He was chasing these dudes through the swamp and they were fighting. The fight was god awful between Swamp Thing and this character, Arcane's alter ego Booster. He's so bad, honestly. And the ending was so weak. The ending was so weak. I thought it was gonna have like a stronger ending, but yeah, it was just a weak ending. And overall, you know, it's kind of a shame because they had a lot of good parts in this film that could have been amazing, to be really honest with you, but it fell apart right towards the third act of the film, to be honest with you. Now, what do I rate this movie? Well, I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm gonna give this a good. I think this is a good movie. So I'm gonna give this a 3 out of 5. I think this movie still holds up for what it was meant to do. I don't think it's corny at all. Like I said, the third act is way corny, but I think the first 2 acts is very strong for this type of movie. But yeah, man, it's kind of a shame because I was looking forward to this, and you know, a lot of people were like, oh man, you're gonna hate it, you're gonna hate it. But no, I did not hate this movie. I kind of, like I said, I kind of enjoyed it. I thought it was really good. So with that said, guys, leave a comment down below. Let me know your thoughts on Swamp Thing from 1982. Would you want to see this film? Or would you skip it? Just let me know in the comments down below what you thought of the film. And remember to like, share, and subscribe. And of course, you guys could join me as I continue my DC live action watch through every Wednesday and check out Nate's new release films every Friday. Till then, keep the reels rolling and geek out.